All right, we're coming to the end of pre-running the King of Hammers. So I'm gonna, as promised, show you how to take your notes from lap one, merge them into lap two, so you have two complete laps ready to run race day. And we're gonna use a file that was sent to me today by one of our guys who's wrapped up his pre-running, and we're gonna use that as an example to kind of show you how it's done. All right, here we go. Got the race file sent to us from one of our guys out there pre-running, and inside here we have lap one. I renamed it to race ready. So like I said, all you got to do is pre-run the lap one completely, all the way around. You can see he's got his notes taken all the way back into here, all the way back to the finish. So like I said, if you go out there and you pre-run lap one to completion, that's it. You're done for lap one. So I went in there and just renamed that. It's kind of what I do. I just put race ready at the end of lap one at that route, so you know that's the one you want to hit run on race day. So now what we need to do is on lap two, like I said, he just pre-ran the lap two sections that are different from lap one, basically. All right. So what we want to do now is, you can see I turned lap two green so we can tell the difference between the two. But you can see where lap two deviates from lap one is right here in this section. And then of course the big main rock or lap two loop right here, the rock loop. And then up here you have a third loop off the lap one. So, like I said yesterday in yesterday's video, I'm going to break out my handy dandy notebook right here, because something like this is definitely why you want it. Because we have to split this thing before and after every lap two loop and then merge everything back together. So we need to focus on this, keep track of it. I'm going to keep my notepad right here so you can see it. But essentially, and then we have the backdoor loop right here as well. So we actually have 4 loops that we have to branch off of. So I got my notepad here. We're going to switch back to lap 1, where we have notes, basically. So we have notes here, starting at the start. I'm going to double tap. Let's trace it out where we have notes. So here's lap 1. We got notes on lap 1. I'm going to trace it out to the first lap 2 change, which is right here. Right at this turn. So I am going to, you can see he's got turn left here for lap 1 to keep you on the lap 1. So I'm going to actually double tap right before that turn left. I'm going to go try to tap on this dot right here. I hit the one before. That's all right. Let's copy that section out. And let's call this lap 2-1. Lap 2-1. We're going to write that here on our piece of paper. That's our first segment. Lap 2-1. Copy it out. Copied. Now, we need to cut this. The next segment we need is this one right here. So I'm going to switch back to lap 2. And it's going to jump back to the start, so kind of remember where that is. It's going to snap back here, but we want to go back out to where it... We want to go back out here to the change. Make sure we're on the right one here. Yep. And you can actually see right here, he's got a hard right lap 2 marker right here. He's got a little bit late back here. So we're just going to go ahead and tap. I'll just remember to put that in. Tap right here. Go to the end of this section. He doesn't have many notes in here. He's got a couple. Stay left, stay left. And then it merges back here on the lap 1. So we're going to double tap right here. We're going to copy that section out. We're going to stick to what we started. Lap 2 dash 2. This is the second segment we need. Lap 2 dash 2. Hit copy out. Copied. All right. So now let's get an overview shot of what we're looking at here. We're going to go back to lap 1 right at this point. Switch back to lap 1. Edit. So here's that first lap 2 deviation. Right back to here. So now let's click on to start the next segment right there on lap 1. Let's trace it up. You can see our notes. And here's where the difference is going to be, because we're going to come back into these pits, and instead of going on lap 1 here, we're going to branch off this way on the lap 2. So I'm going to, let's go right here. Copy section out. Again, I got my piece of paper here so I remember where we're at. We're going to do lap 2 dash 3. Segment 3 is up next. Before I even go off of that page, I'm going to write that down. Lap 2 dash 3. Copy. All right. It's going to go down this way. And we need to switch to lap 2 to grab this next segment. It's kind of a pain because by default we snap to the beginning of the route, but so you just got to kind of remember where you were at. Right, here's lap 2. So I could just go, this is all pit area right here. So I'm just going to try to double tap this, get that one. I was careful not to get the segment leaving. Just make sure you got the right dot. Now we're going to trace that out. You can see he's got all of his lap 2 notes in here, all the way around. And then back to the pits. And I don't know how many notes he has in this section, but we know that turns back into red right here. So let's just, we will just copy it, chop it from here. Copy section out. Look at our piece of paper. What's up next? Lap 2 dash 4. We'll write that down. Lap 2 dash 4. Copy that out. All right, so we're right here. We're on this red. Turns back to red under here from the original notes. So I'm going to switch back. See, he does have some notes in there, so we want to grab those. Let's go back to edit. Let's get back there. And we'll grab it anywhere in here, right there. Trace it out. All right, here's where the next green split is. So, see, he's got a straight lap 1, so we'll grab it before that note. Copy section out. And next is lap 2 dash 5. You can see why this piece of paper is key to keeping track of this. Lap 2 dash 5. All right, so now we need to go back to lap 2 to grab this set of notes out. We're going to grab that because he has his hard right for lap 2 right there. Let's get these notes. He doesn't have many in there. Comes back into here. Copy section out. All right, next is lap 2-6. Up. I went ahead and pushed enter before I like to do, but it still says it right there. Lap 2-6. All right, we're going to grab it after this point. Switch back to lap 1. Make sure we're in the right spot. That's where we just grabbed. Let's go up here. I don't want to get it there, so let me just back out. The only way to really cancel that once you get started is to go back in. I didn't want to grab that point. I could have edited it afterwards, but I wanted to try to get up here. All right. Now, go all the way back through. Stay left lap 1. We're going to grab it before that. Copy section out. Next up is lap 2-7. Lap 2-7. Write down. So you can see lap 2-7. Copy it out. Let's get this last lap 2 segment. And he doesn't even have any notes in there. I mean, that's backdoor. I know he knows what's going on in there. Copy that section out. Let's go lap. We're almost there. 2-8. Lap 2-8. Copy that section out. And let's grab the last bit. Lap 1. After backdoor. Right there. To finish. Lap 2-9. Write that down. Lap 2-9. Copy. I know that might seem confusing, but all you're doing is you're taking the note sections out of both routes that you pre-ran. We're just taking them out, cutting them out, and copying them as individual sections. It's not hard if you use this little piece of paper right here. Trust me, you want to do this right here. I would even mess it up without this little piece of paper. So just like I did there, you're just going to cut the sections out, start to finish. Now we have our 9 segments, and all we're going to do is merge these 9 together to make one route, and we're going to call that route or lap 2. Here we go. All right, so here's our list. Let's back up. Look what we got here in the route menu. So now we have lap 1 race ready, lap 2, which is the whole lap 2 with the notes, and then we got our segments here. 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doesn't matter what route you click on or kick it off on. But we're going to choose one, and we're going to go down to join multiple routes. And now, again, this is just a list of what's going to join together start to finish. So, we don't need lap 1. So, again, this says remove. It's not a delete. It's just removing it from the list that we're going to join together. Remove. We don't need lap 2. We're going to remove. And now in the join menu, we have lap 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If these were out of order, they're not because it's numerical. But if these are out of order, like that, You just want to make sure that they are in the correct order, just like your piece of paper here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They need to be like this because think of these as route lines that we're going to join together. And if these are mixed up, you're going to get a big spider web. So start to finish, they're in the correct order. So now, looks good. Double check. We're going to join them together. And now we can call this lap 2. And I'm going to be pretty confident here and call it race ready. Join. It's been joined. Let's back up. Let's see what we got here. Lap 2, race ready. Let's go ahead and take a look before we delete the rest. Okay. So, look at that. We have all the notes in there merged together into one complete lap 2 route. So now, one thing we're going to want to do is go in here and trace it out. We know where they joined. It didn't start until over here. But like I put out yesterday, everywhere they joined, you're going to see a join to lap 2. Just to kind of let you know where they got spliced together. So now, remember I said that we got rid of his note that said stay right, lap 2. So I'm just going to change this to edit. I'm going to change this to stay right, lap 2. Went ahead and changed that for him. And so this isn't confusing. Let's go ahead and change the color of this. Green. Okay. Lap 2, race ready. Edit. Okay, let's go back now through there. We were just right there. I changed that to stay right, lap 2. Let's trace it out. Looks good. Here's where it joins to lap the next segment. I'm going to make that into a serpentine. You don't have to. You just don't want to hear that race day. Here's where it joins again. I'm going to get rid of that one. Here's where we joined it together. I'm going to get rid of that one. And then we know it goes this way. We got all of our notes. Looks good. And we know it joined back here. I already got rid of that pin. And it goes up here. And then there's another join marker right there I'm going to get rid of. Hard right. Trace it out. Here's where it joins. I think he had like a... he might have had a stay straight in there. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then we're going to come all the way down here, back to back door where it joins up. And I'm going to change that pin to a stay right, lap 2. Just like that. And then here's where it joins back up. Make that back in the serpentine. And we are back at the finish. Now, we know that's good to go. Let's back up into the routes. Now we have our lap 1. All good to go, ready to hit run on race day. And then we have our lap 2. All ready to go to hit run on race day with our lap 1 notes in it. So now, let's get rid of this other stuff. Be very careful here. Do not delete the wrong thing. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. These are all the segments. Again, be very careful. I'm being pretty cocky right now. Otherwise, I should have duplicated this now before I did this, just in case I delete the wrong thing. But let's see if I can do it without messing it up. Now we're left with routes. We only have lap 1 race ready, lap 2 race ready. Lap 1, lap 2. 2 thumbs up. That's it. It might seem complicated again, but all you're doing is you're copying segments out of both routes that you pre-ran, and you're merging them back together with your little handy dandy notebook right here. This is key right here. And my only thing I'll add is, like I said a million times, before you do anything like this, back up your work, back up your collection. Do not do this in the the file that you went out pre-running with. Duplicate that collection. If it's multiple days of pre-running, I usually duplicate collection every morning, call it pre-run day 2, pre-run day 3, pre-run, so I have multiple backups. And when you go to edit something like this, just make sure you do that. Make sure you back up your work before you fat finger the delete button and wipe out all your notes, or before you merge something together incorrectly. But that's it. That's how I would merge all your pre-run notes from lap 1 into lap 2. You got 2 routes now. All you gotta do is hit run on each of them race day and have fun. If you got any other questions, hope everybody stays safe out there, has a good time. Wish I was there. I'm gonna try to be there next year, but appreciate y'all. Later.